Well, hello. Man, today's workout was nice. It's a press day. It's all about pressing with a little bit of pulling mixed in there. So what I did today is I started off just absolutely crushing the upper chest with 30-degree barbell presses. Those felt great. I wanted to do higher rep today, and I ended up in that 10 rep range, but then I hit an AMRAP set of like 12, I think it was 12 reps. So needless to say, I didn't really get high rep on it, but I got a lot of volume in, and what I did after my third set, it was great. I just spur of the moment, I cut down the weight, threw a 25-pound plate on each side, and just knocked out a nice like volume pump set, 20 reps. Yeah, that felt good. So my upper chest was fired up, torched, nice and full. I like to try to get that feeling right off those clavicles, and that felt so good. That's one of the reasons why I love incline pressing. I recommend it. 30 degrees is scientifically where you get your maximum clavicular head of the pec activation, and that's that upper chest. You can go 15 degrees, that's still going to do the job. Once you go past 30 degrees, based on the science, based on studies, you start to activate your front delt more heavily than the pec. Now, I know this is true. I know this is true from experience. I went through a period, about 6 months, where I was hitting 45-degree bench, 60-degree bench. And you know what muscle grew the most? The muscle that grew the most was actually my front delts, and there was a marked difference. I'm not kidding when I tell you there was a marked difference in my front delt growth. Yes, my upper pecs grew, and that's great. That's what I wanted. That's what I was aiming for. But as a side effect from going pretty high on the incline, like I said, 45, 60, sometimes even 75, I would just argue that that's more of an overhead press, but 45 to 60 still felt like a high incline bench press, and that just blew up my front delts. So what does this tell me? It's interesting. You don't actually have to do straight overhead presses, 90 degrees, vertical overhead presses to build your front delts. Yes, it works. Of course it works, but it's not a necessity. I think that's important to realize. So press day, big press day today. I followed that up with some 15-degree dumbbell presses. That's almost flat, not quite. I like a little incline right now, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm barely doing any flat. Actually, I don't even think I'm doing any flat. Even my close grip bench presses on my other day where I hit some press is a 15-degree. Same thing. And you wouldn't think that close grip bench press is an upper chest activator, but it really is. That's one of the reasons why I hit that light incline and I hit close grip on my other press twice weekly frequency day. So yeah, 15-degree dumbbell presses, those were excellent. Right now I'm in a medium rep microcycle, so this whole week outside of my first lift of each day is medium reps. And yeah, so that was dumbbell presses, 3 sets of 10, last set to failure, and failure came at like 8 or 9. So yeah, right around that 3 sets of 10 mark. Gives me something to shoot for next week where I can try to get 10, 10, 10 with the exact same weight. So I like twice weekly frequency, and that means that on my press day, I do hit a little bit of pulling. Now, I experimented with my cable stacks a little bit. I did a different type of pull down where I'm reaching up, so up for each cable, and I'm pulling down like this. And I gotta tell you, this is weird. I've never done that exercise before. And I've been lifting weights for like 25 years. I've never done it before. I knew it was gonna light up my back, and it definitely did, but it was like heavy isolation for the lats. And I really liked it. I'm gonna start incorporating it more. It felt really good. By the end of the set, it's nice when you can isolate your lats. I know that's a challenge for a lot of people. Sometimes it's a challenge for me as well, and it was especially in my earlier training years, because you can't see those muscles as well as you can see the muscles on the front of your body, especially when you're in a mirror. But also a lot of times, like pull-up bars, lat pull-down bars, those are not necessarily in front of mirrors. You know, they're more like off to the side, just a different part of the gym. It's not like you can move your bench, your lat pull-down bench or your lat pull-down machine wherever you want it in front of a mirror. So there's a good chance that, you know, you don't see your back muscles as much as you see the muscles on the front of your body. And so it's harder to connect with them mentally. But over time, when you continue to do it, think about pulling with the elbows, squeezing the middle of your back, not the upper, that's traps and rear delts, not the lower, that's spinal erectors. You want to think about the middle, lats, rhomboids, teres, all those good muscles in there that give your back size, width, thickness, and more definition when you're leaner. But this variation, this pull-down variation where it was up like this and then pulling down, kind of diagonally down in, I mean, that just torched the lats. I loved it. I'm definitely going to get it going. The only problem I foresee doing it on a cable machine is I was just sitting on the floor. So I don't have anything, that prevents me from going off the floor or rising off the floor when I'm doing weight that's heavy enough to lift me up. Now today it was not heavy enough. I'm just getting started with it, experimenting, playing around. I did weight that was tough. By the time I was hitting 12 reps, I was burning hard, and I wanted to be out of it. So those are good sets for me. That's a good indicator that I was at a solid weight today, but I'm gonna gain strength on it. And there's weeks where I do 5 rep sets. When I do 5 rep sets, obviously I can't use my medium rep weight, so I gotta bump it up. So I'll probably come up with something, a weight to set on my lap, just anything to keep me on the ground. And that's what I would recommend for you if you want to give it a shot as well. But yeah, just put a D handle on each cable, sit in the middle, reach up, and pull down. And you can position your hands however you want, like an overhand grip, palms facing away from you. I just ended up using a neutral grip. It just naturally came down just like this. And that felt so good. So I recommend that. So that lift gave me my twice weekly pull frequency, and then from here on out, mainly press moves. So I did overhead dumbbell presses, seated, 90 degrees, really bringing my arms out to the sides to try to hit those medial delts more. Just pressing them up, just standard dumbbell presses, nothing special. But again, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. Those felt really good. Got a nice pump in the shoulders going, rounded out the press musculature, and I was on to arms. So I hit arms twice a week, always. So I hit a bicep curl. Honestly, since I had the 2 D handles on my cable stack, what I just did standing cable curls. So a D handle in each hand, flexing, flexing, flexing. Those felt very isolated because there's nothing I can do there to cheat. I'm out here, I'm flexing, and that's all biceps. So I can't really throw myself around. I thought about actually, I'm leaning up against a bench right now, but I thought about leaning up against a bench during my sets, basically like a wall curl where you're leaning against the wall so you can't cheat at all. But I was able to do it really strict. I felt good about it. I did not need to cheat, so I didn't have to be up against a bench. But I can see in the future, because I'm not opposed to even doing 5 rep arm work, and also my medium rep weights, you know, they're gonna get heavier as well. So right now I'm probably gonna keep these in the picture. They felt good, I liked them a lot. And I might put myself against a bench so I can't cheat at all. So I can't lean forward and then throw myself back. I don't wanna be doing that. I'm isolating biceps, a little bit of body English, that's fine. But excessively as a necessity to get my reps, no, that's not fine, especially the reps that are early on in the set. After that, like I said, twice weekly frequency, that gave my arms my twice weekly frequency for biceps. So then I hit a tricep. I hit the overhead extension, single arm. So coming back like this, getting my stretch, and then powering up. Again, with the D handle, it was already set up, so it was an easy transition into that one. What I did, I actually supersetted the curls and the triceps. Now for me, supersetting does not mean hitting curls and then immediately rushing to triceps as fast as I can without a rest. That's not cool for me. I don't train like that. I train to maximize each set. So even between those sets, I was taking a couple minutes rest just to calm myself down, because of course, you can get worked up from training your biceps, isolating your biceps. If you're going hard and intense, you can definitely get out of breath and you can need a breather, and that's totally fine. I'm training for size first, strength as well. And if I'm gonna maximize the benefits of both of those, I need to maximize each set. And that means I need to be ready for it. So that's what I do. I hit one exercise, and if I'm supersetting, I rest a couple minutes, and then I hit the next exercise, and then I repeat. If I was supersetting bigger compound movements like squats and deadlifts, I would rest longer. I would rest 3 to 4 minutes in between each set, because that's just the nature of those beasts. You need to rest more muscle groups, bigger muscle groups, longer. Because you want to maximize the intensity and the amount of work you can do in each set. Resting appropriately before every set is the secret to doing that every time. And then after that, 3 sets of each of those, I went on to my lateral flies. So dumbbell lateral flies, just making sure to really reach out towards, not towards the front, not perfectly out to the side either, just a little bit to the front. Reaching out, and you want to try to trace a big circle, quarter circle with that dumbbell, because you want to reach out away from you. You want to keep your pinky up a little bit, and you want to have a slight forward lean when you're doing it. Because when I do lateral flies, I do them for the middle of my shoulder, the medial delts. So I'm not doing them with my palm facing the mirror or facing away from me, because you can just tell when you rotate like that, your front delt does more work, no question. So you want to try to keep your pinky up a little bit and hit that medial delt, and leaning forward also helps you do that. I mean, you might be able to just see the bump there. So that is medial delt making that bump. And that was it. That is what I did today. I had a really good day. I can't say that I got the biggest pumps today. I didn't have a lot of carbs today. I just had an apple this morning, but that was at like 6:30. And then I had some stuff to do. I got kind of busy, and I only had one more meal prior to working out, but I didn't work out until 1 o'clock. So I had my pre-workout meal around 12. And what did I have? I had a pre-made piece of smoked salmon. I smoked my salmon on Monday, and then I eat it throughout the week. So I had a chunk of that, and I had a bagel, and then half of another bagel. So that ended up being like 75 grams of carbs. So 75 grams of carbs plus an apple. The apple's maybe 20 grams of carbs, something like that. That's really not that much going into a pretty solid upper body day, like 100 grams of carbs. It's not that much. So the pump was not as great as I wanted it to be, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I got the work in, and that's the important thing. You just got to do, honestly, you just have to do real hard shit again and again and again and again and again. And that is one secret, one pro tip to getting bigger and getting stronger. All right, I hope you enjoyed my talk. I'm gonna check out, and it's time for me to get another meal in. It's like 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna get that other meal in, and I'm also going to throw some chuck roast jerky into the smoker, because I hit the grocery store today, and I always check for sales on red meat, and I found some good stuff today. I found 1.5 pound top sirloin steak, half price. It was like $8. And I also found a 2-pound chuck roast, which is amazing. And that was also like $7. So $15. I got 3.5 pounds of very nice quality red meat. I can't wait to make it. I'm gonna definitely post up a picture of the chuck roast jerky, because that's gonna be so good. And then I'm gonna have that tomorrow, probably for a few days. And I'm gonna have the steak tonight. All right, that's it for me. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.